Good morning. This is Aisha Elliott, Black girl from Eugene. I am recording for 97.3 KEPW. You can find them at www.kepw.org. And I am there every Sunday while I'm here on Facebook Live and as well on my podcast. So I'm going to start my podcast recording now. So good morning. Once again, I'm Aisha Elliott. This is Black Girl from Eugene. And it is me. I actually had a show. Good morning, Cassie. I had a show planned, and I decided to scrap it at the last minute, just because I was thinking about the election, and I was thinking about how everyone is feeling right now, and this crazy, like, we just came through a full moon on Halloween, on like the weirdest Halloween ever. So into like an election week where the election is going to be problematic. I don't even think that we're really going to even have our results on Tuesday. I've been getting like all this information. I mean, everyone has like people who are having their, like the whole neighborhoods having their ballots stolen. Here in Eugene, yesterday someone witnessed a Trump caravan collide intentionally, like accelerating into another person with a family in it, a mother and a child, black, into their car, causing a car accident without any, remorse or checking or anything. I believe that they're okay, but, not really. And all of these things just happening right here in Eugene. I guess Eugene, Oregon has made the list of like one of the top, white supremacist hotbeds at the moment with Trump. Biden's caravan being pushed off of, in Texas and San Antonio, being pushed off by Trump supporters. And so, y'all know I'm into astrology. I get into this. And so I won't bore you with the astrology right now because I know this is not an astrology podcast. However, the astrology is super, super relevant right now, but I'm just going to kind of translate it into everyday boundaries and how we are showing up in the world right now and how other people are showing up in the world right now, and just try to encourage some real healthy mental health strategies, I guess, and just kind of like check in with everyone and just be like, we're going to be all right, y'all. We're going to be okay. I do know that it feels really, really dangerous. And it's not that it just feels dangerous. It like actually is dangerous. Like I was just describing a moment ago about the things that are happening literally around the corner from where I live. And, we're going outside and I'm going to the grocery store. And, like when people, like white folks look at you in a way where you're just like, oh, some people are like, oh, hey, they like intentionally like nod so they know like, I don't hate you. It's like, okay, great. I nod back, of course. And then there's other people who lately, like, you get stares, which is something I get all the time. But what I've been noticing now is that these stares have like a menace behind them. Like there's something where I just don't know whether or not they're going to say something. It's almost like they're trying to decide whether or not they will say something. So, and I have to like, in this moment, kind of like decide whether or not what my response will be. So I want to like encourage everyone to understand like what we're going through on our side and on their side and everyone else's side around it, just to know that that is trauma for everybody involved. And I want everyone who is scared right now, like, and just not knowing whether or not they want to go outside for the next week, I want to like have some encouragement. And I just want to like, I watched this podcast that's amazing, and I love her. She's an astrology podcast. I don't know if you guys are into that, but Jessica Lanyadoo, and she was saying something that I wanted to like, I wrote down because I was just like, I want people to understand it like in a real way, and I thought it was really relevant, so I'm gonna just say it real quick. But before I do say that, I want to acknowledge that today is El Dia de los Muertos, and I want to acknowledge my ancestors. I want to acknowledge everyone who has passed in this year. I want to acknowledge everyone's family members who are physically not with us, but spiritually present, especially today. The veil is very thin. And so I want to give acknowledgement to this ancestors and the spirits that are around us, encouraging us to be strong. We are here today because we are meant to be here today. I'm hoping everyone went and voted early. Please vote before November 3rd. This is going to be a hot mess on November 3rd all the way through the week. So try to start as soon as you can. Get to the ballot box. Don't mail it in. Walk to the ballot box and put it in. Walk to the station where they're counting, put it in. If your ballot was stolen, you can go and get a replacement at the place, at the ballot place that you can go. At ours here in Eugene's on 7th Street. No, it's not. It's on 10th. I'm going to look up the address and I'll put it on the show notes. Anyway, it's right there. I think that's 10th and Lawrence or 10th and Lincoln. Anyway, I will look it up and I'll put it in the show notes. However, get directly to wherever you drop the ballots go and where they count them. Drop it off there. Get a replacement there. So anyway, I want to just say that right now, the feeling of anger and rage for everyone is kind of like overwhelming, and it's not anger. It's not anger on our side or anger on their side. It's anger, period. It's rage, period. It's uncertainty all throughout. And regardless of who wins the election, it's going to be really difficult for everyone in this country for the next few months. And I just want to encourage that we find each other who are allies, find each other who are actively working on not oppressing, actively working on not repressing people's trauma around all of the fear. The fear is not unrelated, it's direct. People are physically being harmed right now, right here in Eugene. Like I said, someone ran their car into a family of black people just yesterday, totally intentionally. Every piece of artwork that has been generated by black artists and brown artists and people supporting black and brown artists who have been painting around the city. There's been supporting love. I don't even know if they're black and brown. It's just supporting love, supporting seeing each other. They've been defaced with, go Trump. It's been defaced with just Blue Lives Matter, blue paint all over them. It's been, it's just like real physically happening right now. And so I just want to encourage us to stay grounded, right? This is unprecedented times, but this is something that we can get through. And I know we can get through it because we're here to get through it. If we're not here tomorrow, then that's tomorrow. Presently and today, we're here. So here in today, we have to see each other. We're here to do this work, right? So I just want to say, when you don't feel comfortable embodying or expressing anger or rage, our physical bodies in urgency or passion, like it's not comfortable for you, when you don't have the capacity to experience those things or to experience them in a healthy way, it can be very easily converted into exhaustion or feeling victimized or feeling demoralized or helpless. So some of this that we're feeling is literally the capacity to take on this level of anger, but it's also the capacity to express it and to express it in a way that is with integrity. And that battle is happening for all of us right now. And all of us who have fear for the oppression of other people or the oppression of ourselves, or that our freedom and our democracy and our pursuit is tied in within each other. Right now, learning and knowing how to express that in a way that that is within integrity is utmost. But how do you do that when you're like on the verge of tears? And how you do that when you're on the verge of tears, the first thing that we have to realize is that we're not going to be judging ourselves and we're not going to be judging each other. It doesn't help at this point. When we're at this level of urgency, we're at this level of fear, there's no judgment to each other and how another person can take on this capacity. We're all doing the very best we can. So let's chill on that, at least for the next week. Let's just look at each other and know that each of us have a different way of expressing and holding this level of fear. We need to understand to engage more thoughtfully with those around us. And those around us are not all people who agree with us. So when you're faced with someone who's angry and rageful, I'm not saying that not to protect yourself. Clearly, you need to protect yourself. But the thoughtful engagement has to be around your boundaries. It has to be around, and I'm thinking of family members, honestly. I'm thinking about people that you love and care about, where the level of discourse is happening. We're going into, the day of mourning. We're in Dias de los Muertos today. We have the holidays coming through December. Family is going to be utmost. And some of our families are absolutely torn apart for several different reasons. Right now, I'm focusing on the fear and the rage and the literally blatant hatred that's just flowing through everyone right now. But I just want us to focus on the fact that we are still connected, and we can do this with integrity. We don't have to do something that's outside of who we really are. And I want to keep that grounded and keep that mindful, because there's going to be a lot of people working outside that don't have the healthy boundary, that don't have the healthy consent, that the healthy sense that they can actually disagree with us, with them, with each other, and not have to fight over this in a physical manner. So I just want to say to thoughtfully engage with those around us. Try to listen, actively listen with compassion. Like I know I'm talking to you as a Black woman who has been spit on, okay? Who has been followed, who has been attacked, beaten by the police. I'm talking to you as a Black woman who has been through some very, very real oppression in 2019, 2018. I'm coming from a place that's not naive of what we're up against. But what I am trying to say to you is that we can rise and work on we can move forward through this ready. We can move forward through this knowledgeable. The things that we've learned in 2020, the things that we know that are real for us and for everyone, doesn't have to be what we abandon when we're scared. We have to hold on tight to what we have learned through 2020. We have to hold on tight to what we have created to survive this far. Even through the last 4 years of this dude, through children in cages, what have we done? We have to hold on tight to what has gotten us this far and stay grounded as much as we can, so that we can make it to December, so we can make it to January, so we can make it to continue to create real change for people who are living right next door to you, who need you. You need to be able to look in the mirror and be okay with what you did today. Be okay with what was said. You need to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and say, I did what was integrally right for my moral stance, right? That's all I'm saying. Let's get really square and grounded there. So when the conversation, when you're talking to folks who you love or who you are connected to, and the conversation goes to oppression, and this is when our knowledge of our boundaries pop in, right? This is when we go, boundaries. This is what we need to do. This is what I will stand. And it doesn't even have to be in a heated manner. Like, boundaries are for you. That people don't have to actually agree with them. It needs to be about your growth and about what you can withstand. And so right now in this next week, I'm encouraging you to engage really strongly in boundaries. And, boundaries, like, people believe that, like, once you set a boundary, that then at that point you're supposed to have someone agree with that boundary. That's not true. A lot of times when you actually put a boundary up, people will not agree with you because it feels like you're shutting them down. But in truth, you're protecting yourself, and you can always come back to the situation later. Right now is a time for self-preservation of mental health. And so what I'm saying is that I don't want you to run from what's happening. It's horrible. It's scary. This is real shit that's going on. But I want you to engage in mental health, like, in the most healthiest way that you can. And boundaries are essential to that. Like, you can't, someone who's open and empathetic without boundaries is a complete wreck. You can't go on that way without understanding that you have to be here tomorrow. I mean, right? You got to be here tomorrow. So I just want to continue with the boundary idea. It's not about other people. It's about clarity. It's about clarity in what you can and can't do, what you will and won't do. It has integrity behind it. It has your own journey wrapped around it. It has your need and love for growth in your own body, in your own spirit. They are for your capabilities of being absolutely present now. So that's what I'm here to talk about today, you guys. I'm just here to talk about mental health. I'm here to talk about the fear. I really am in a moment of kind of like mental exhaustion, and I know that everyone else is too. So I wanted to reach out to everyone and just be like, I see you, and I think in the next few days we need to see each other. I need, like right now, Trump supporters and straight up just haters or naysayers at this point are getting really, really physically aggressive and coming for people who aren't sure how to stand in this level of intensity. You know, I don't want people who aren't ready to stand up for this level of intensity to be in the way of this movement. Like I'm scared for people who don't know what to say. I want everyone out there to be in their integrity as much as you can, but if you can't take this intensity, protect yourself. You know, everyone does not need to be a social justice hero right now. You know what I mean? We are doing and we will continue to do the best that we can do. We're voting early. You can't vote yet. Let's say you're too young to vote. Help make phone calls. Drive people to the ballot drop-off boxes. Bring lunches to people, or drinks and water to people who are in line in places that are having people line up to vote, even to vote early. That's how we can see each other. And in this mist of I want to say mist, but in this haze of like of rage that's coming about, it's going to get worse no matter who wins, right? So are we ready? Are we mentally prepared? It's not something to be scared of, and I'm saying this from a very personal point of view, because my capacity as a Black woman in the Pacific Northwest for this level of degradation, honestly, this level of fear and rage, this ability to take fear and rage and produce something tangible, useful, and compassionate, is coming from a large capacity, and I talk about it all the time, passed down from my ancestors. To speak about this on Dias de los Muertos is absolutely imperative for us to understand that we're not here alone. We're not here. This is not about me. This is not about you. This is not really about even this election. This is about who we are as a people. This is about morality, right? And of course, I think really clearly this election, isn't really about politics. As people always want to be about politics, but this is a gut check for the United States. This is a gut check for racism. This is a gut check for, like I said, morality and integrity. So that's what I voted for. I voted, a few days back. I voted for morality. I voted for integrity. And so while we're sitting here and we're waiting and we're wondering what to do in the next few days, once we've done all the things that we can do, I encourage that if you have done what you feel like you can do, and you've helped in the ways that you feel like you could help, then it's time for a mental health break, because this is not going to get easier. If Biden wins, it's not going to get easier. If Trump wins, it's not going to get easier. Not now. I mean, obviously, we're going to get through this because this too shall pass. However, how we get through this is going to be what we talk about. This is going to be what we tell our kids. This is what our kids are looking at right now. It's not all the the people who are with the Trump flags and they're trying to do all this intimidation, and the people who bother me the most are the ones who actually are indifferent. Like right now the conversations aren't about the election. The conversations are about I guess they're just it is what it is type of thing. It's really hard for me right now because integrity for me, morality for me, belief and faith for me is really, really important. But the relationship with faith right now is really, really integral too, because we have to understand what is our relationship with faith? What is faith really about? And the truth of it is, it's not a guarantee of anything. It's a process of hope, right? It's a process of intention. It's a process of putting ourselves forward and putting ourselves in a position to be vulnerable and to say what we really want and need. And so I'm encouraging it, right? This is what today, this is not going to be a whole hour long, because I'm going to be protecting my own mental health. I want anyone who is watching these reels over and over again, check out your shoulders, look how high they are into your ears. Check out, how tight your jaws are. Check out your face. Look at my lines, you guys. I've got like lines all in between my eyebrows. I didn't realize they had gotten, like permanent. Right? So like we have to take moments right now so that we can be here tomorrow. Like let's take a moment and say what we've done for each other. Let's take a moment to be like kind. Right now, let's slow down the feed. Let's slow down the Trump feed and let's laugh, right? Let's have a drink if you have a drink. Let's, have a massage if you like to be massaged, if you have someone to rub your shoulders for you. Go for a walk. Get outside if you can. Wear your mask, obviously. It's time to have to take a control over what's being pushed into us, and let's set a boundary around lasting. Let's set a boundary around our health. Set a boundary around our capability to continue to be compassionate to the people who are full of rage and full of hatred. We don't have to like them. We don't have to get along with them. We don't have to engage with them, though. That's what my whole point is. There's no reason for us to get ourselves into a line of talking where our heartbeat is high and our hands are sweaty and anxiety is written. We don't need to go there. Let's increase our capacity, right? Like I told you, I'm talking to you as a Black woman. My capacity for rage and anger and holding it and transforming it is big. And I'm telling you, I realize that everybody's capacity is not as large, right? But what I'm also saying is that those of us who can, will. Those of us who cannot, take care of yourself. We need numbers. We need you to be here tomorrow. We need you to be here next week, all right? Help, if you're done with the voting and you're done with everything and you're like, I'm off Facebook until Tuesday or whatever you plan on doing, make sure your neighbors got their ballots in. Make sure, give people rides, take water. If you just can't take any more of it, that's cool too. We're not here to judge, okay? But I just want to say that everybody is so tight right now that we're getting sick, But you guys, it's not over. The election, it doesn't end on Tuesday. It doesn't end on Tuesday. Take it from a person take it from any person who has lived in oppression for years and years and years in this country. You got to put your shoes on the right feet, okay? You got to tie your laces up tight so you don't trip. You got to make sure you ate some food. You got to drink some water. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that you're able to get up the next day and be okay with the decisions you made the day before. Don't let the rage create and push your conscious being. Don't let the fear get the best of who you are. Don't let the fear get the best of your integrity. We're not going to get anywhere. Like I said, whether Biden wins or Trump wins, we're not going to get anywhere if we're not standing in our own integrity and who we know we are, right? That's the only thing you have in this world, is what you bring to it, is where you come from, your spiritual center and your heart. So what else are you going? Don't give that up with everything else. You know what I mean? There's no reason for us to think like that. Don't give that up when what we need to be here is we need to see and be present on Wednesday, right? Whatever happens on Thursday, Friday. I honestly don't think that we're going to know I don't think we're going to know the results of this election on Tuesday. And like I keep saying over and over again, whoever wins, it's about to get thick up in here. Whoever wins. So do you know who your allies are? Allies, are you guys ready? It's not about fighting. Like I said, it's not about fighting. Some of us might have to throw down. I realize that. But what I'm encouraging, I guess it's kind of like the same thing that, we were told by the great Michelle Obama. You know what I mean? Like, when they go low, we're going to have to go high. But we're high right now. We got to be like I said, we got to be here with our integrity, y'all. It's getting like the things that are happening in Eugene right now, it's really easy. The things that are happening in Oregon, the things that are happening all across the United States, it's really easy to just be scared for ourselves. But we got to be seeing each other. My freedom is wrapped up in your freedom. You know, my health is wrapped up in yours. The air, the earth, the water, it's all wrapped up. We're all like in this shit together. Even the Trump supporters, yeah, they don't understand that in our integrity and our morality, nothing that we're saying means that we're going to take them and you know, get rid of all of them, although they're saying that about us. That's a higher level of understanding of consciousness that we can't expect everyone to have. We have to have it though. Once you know better, you must do better. Or you are bound to completely and relentlessly repeat what's painful. 2020 has to have taught us something about what matters, what actually matters. Not the capital, you know, not the finances, but your family, yourself, your dog, the earth, the ability to live without fear. So I just want to ground. I want to encourage that. I want to make sure that we are all in this fear-based, understand that we're all in this fear-based cycle right now. And we all have the choice to step the hell out of it. We don't have to be in the middle of this whirlwind and taking it in like it belongs to us. It's a circumstance of the day. It's a circumstance of 2020. It's a circumstance of this full administration in the White House. It doesn't have to be what we are. It's what's around, but we have the ability to rise above it, even in the midst of it. I'm telling you from experience, okay? I realize these times are unprecedented, but when you stand strong in who you are, the answer comes around and the integrity is evident. And so we got to stand in it. Don't waver. Don't waver your morality. Don't waver your need to release that rage. There's lots of ways to release this rage with it being growth. We can transform this fear, rage, and like literal, I'm trying to think of like anger, you know, disappointment, despair. You can actually take those things and put them, make them create something that allows growth. But it only comes from you understanding yourself and your relationship to it. So in the next few days, work on that idea. What's your relationship to this fear? Who gave it to you and why can you hold on to it? It's not about ignoring what's going on around you. It's about how you're going to engage with it. I have decided a long time ago if someone was going to come to me, you know, those people I was telling you about earlier in the podcast here, that when they look at me and you can just tell they're negotiating whether they're going to say something to me unprovoked, whether they're going to attack me unprovoked. You can see it in their eyes, right over their masks, you know, and you know their little American flag bandana. You can just see it staring at you. And I've thought over and over and over again, what will I do when one of them is brave enough to say something to me? Will I engage back? Will I come swinging too? I know I'm capable. I mean, I'm capable. But is that who I am? Right? Is that what we're here to do? Yeah, like my dad said, consider your purpose. Moral ground is of the utmost importance right now. It is the utmost importance. And I know that people who are willing to go outside of their own, out of the side of their own privilege or their own awareness of other people's privilege and vote for the right of someone who is being oppressed or who has less resource than you, that's high morality. That's stepping outside this fear. We can do this work. It's way more than just the vote. Clearly vote and vote early. If you've never voted, please ask someone how. Hopefully you have already been registered. Hopefully everyone was registering everybody this whole year, last year as well. But it's like as you're registered, you can go vote. You do not have to wait for November 3rd. Matter of fact, don't wait until November 3rd. But I'm more talking about the engagement to people that we have to sit next to every single day. I'm more talking about the people when we have to go to work that are Trump and someone who is really just absolutely not engaged in your own right to live. Like, it hurts right now. Everyone's in pain right now. People who are paying attention are scared right now. And I'm saying it's not just you. It's all of us. So the integrity and the compassion that we can have for ourselves will affect the people around us. And when it's family, it's complicated. I've had on the show tons of people who are biracial, who have family, who aren't living the same lived experience around what Trump means for racism in this country. And so it's complicated, right? It has these integral vines of like love in my family, and then it's like hate and misunderstanding. So what can we do to bridge that? It's always, and I know it sounds crazy, but it's always compassion. But honestly, it's compassion for you. Everyone has their own journey to get to where they're at, to get to this understanding. Everyone has their own journey. So your journey has to be about where you and your capacity can be, what your boundary is. Maybe your dad will never not be a Trump supporter. Maybe he will never get it. Let it go for now. Right now, you need you. Right now, we need you. Right now, the moment and the time of integrity and morality, we need you. It's not time for that fight. It honestly isn't. That will not go away. Right now, we need to ground, because we're going uphill. Win or lose, right? And I say win or lose. Biden, I'm talking about morality and integrity. Are we winning? Are we holding morality and integrity high, or are we not? Are we winning or are we losing? Boundary all throughout that. So anyway, I love you guys, and I appreciate you every single week coming on with me. And I know this wasn't a full hour, but it was something that I felt like I needed to really, really say. And I just wanted to make sure that I had this out right now, because there's nothing else to talk about for me right now. There's nothing else. Like, I'm just super concerned about everyone making it through the next couple months of the level of rage and stress and just hate and the onslaught that the people are going to get throughout this United States. Like, in the American elections are going to change how this world functions, with morality and integrity or not. It really, really, we're there. So I'm not belittling the stress. I'm just saying let's understand that this is not, you're not individually stressing out. You're not individually in fear. But those things cannot drive what our purpose is, what we're actually here to do. What we're actually here. If we're here, we have purpose. Let's hold each other in high regard of that purpose. That's my show for today. That is what my message is. You're very welcome, Cassie. Next week, I will have a guest with me, and we'll be talking about some other things, and hopefully it'll be lighter. I don't know, but I'm just going with how I feel the energy is around me. And y'all know I got that woo going on, so I just had to express myself, and I'm hoping that it landed on your ears and on your heart with love and compassion and patience and regard for you as a human being today. So, does anyone have any comments for me? Good morning, Debbie. I'm actually getting off now. Thank you, Jane, for listening from Costa Rica. I appreciate you. Yes, everyone is so on the edge right now. Thank you, Dad. Considering purpose, absolutely. The line is, my line is permanent too. Oh, amazing. Hey, Tamika, thank you for coming in through Michigan. And everyone else, if you guys have anything to say, I'm here for just a minute or two more. And then I'm going to hop off and I'm going to start doing some exercises around meditation, because like I told y'all know me, I got the woo. The woo is hard for me. I mean, the woo is easy for me, but I'm all the way up, and woo goes hard in my life. So I'm about to like check out for the next couple days and honestly get grounded so that I can take on whatever happens in the next week. And I'm encouraging you to do the same. Hey, Serena, it says, I've been doing this and feeling sort of guilty for, no, don't, oh man. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. I want to address that. Like, the feeling guilty for going inward, absolutely not. There's no judgment in self-care. And I want everyone who, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, like, our capacities are different. Everyone has a different capacity for this level of rage that's surrounding us. Boundaries are how you're going to make it, and what's most important is that you do make it, right? Fortifying is a must, and that is what we have to do. It's time to fortify right now. And that means it's kind of like that thing on the airplane, like you can't, it's that, you know, when you, I don't know if everyone has flown on the airplane before, where they say safety is like they put your mask on first before you try to help other people. Same thing. Right now, we have to understand that nothing's getting better in the next week, right? Like I said, win or lose, nothing's getting better. So what are we supposed to do now? Put our mask on, right? Put our mask on so that we can help other people, because we're about to need it hard. You know, we've been needing help. It's about to go tenfold. But guess what? We've made it this far because we're supposed to continue on. The people who are still here is because we have purpose to be here. So this time is the time to fortify yourself. That is what this whole message is about. Boundaries, take your time, get ready to your capacity. Don't feel bad if your capacity has matched this limit and you still see people marching on. All you do is say, march on, sis, and you let them go. You have to fortify yourself. And nobody's going to be looking back saying someone didn't make it so far. What we're going to say is thank you for making it as far as you did. Our integrity is of the utmost importance right now. It's not about tearing each other down, bringing each other down, especially when we're trying to move forward, right? Let's understand there's going to be some of us that make it all the way to the end. There's fighting and they never, stop to take a breath. There's some of us who made it 2 feet and it's like, look, this is all I can do, y'all, okay? That's all I can do. All of it was meaningful. All of it was necessary. And all of it is exactly what should have happened. Leave it behind, do what you can, fortify yourself. Don't feel guilty. Matter of fact, be ready. Be ready. Your family is necessary. Their wellness is necessary for the collective wellness, right? So I encourage you. So that was, thank you for saying that, Serena, because that is exactly what I was getting to. No guilt. Please, like everybody who's involved, like let's not do that to each other. Let's be here. Sometimes at this point I have friends on Facebook that because I'm always like, I look at my Facebook sometimes and I'm like, dang, I don't share nothing that's good news, right? but I have friends who don't share nothing but funny, like all their memes are just funny. And does that mean they're not engaging, or are they engaging in a way that feeds us who are fighting? You see what I'm saying? Like everybody has their purpose. It doesn't mean that you have to be on the front line like the front line people are. But it is important that you stop when you're tired. It's important that you put it down when you can't hold it anymore. That is of the utmost importance. So I want to encourage that. Don't hold it when you can't, when your hand is weak and bleeding. Pass it on. We're here. Say it out loud. Say it. My hand is tired. Don't feel guilty. Someone will pick it up for you, right? We got to see each other in this way so that we know that we're not outnumbered. Because that what happens is that we get scared, right? And then we go hide. And then the people who are out there are like, am I out here by myself? No. No, we're not out here by ourselves. This sentiment actually outnumbers the fear and the hate. The fear and the hate is just feels worse. But this compassion for yourself and others is stronger in the long run. So take your time if you need to. Just come on back when you are ready. That's it. Kimchi soup. I want some kimchi soup. Anybody else have any comments? I love being here by myself. I love my guests too, obviously, but I love being here by myself because I can talk to y'all and it can be really super direct, and I love it. So if y'all, oops, I'm all in the camera. So if y'all have anything else to say or you want to talk about, let me know. That was an excellent comment, Serena. Thank you for making that comment. And hey, Laura, thank you for watching. And Miss Foley. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to go ahead and jump off since I don't see any more comments coming on. Please share this video so that people can get the word of encouragement. We're going to need it. The encouragement for self-care, the encouragement for mental health care, the acknowledgement that you guys have been here and that you're doing the work, and acknowledgement that I feel it and I love it. And it's why I know that if something did happen and I did actually have to say something or someone actually said something to me, I know and feel that I have people who would back me up. I want all of you guys to feel the same thing, you know? Ooh, Maisie, caramel, ooh, I'll take it. I don't need it, but I will take it. So I want to encourage everyone, and I just want to say that we don't have to know each other to feel each other and to give each other a level of love and compassion. So that's my message for today and for the whole entire week, because y'all, it's about to get thick. It's about to get thick. So pass on the message. Hopefully we can just take a moment and take a breath. Like I said, if you're a drinker, a small glass of wine is probably a good idea right about now. You know, pajamas. I'm a Harry Potter fan. I'm going with the Harry Potter marathon because that's what helps me, okay? So I'm just saying that's what we need to do. Help yourself. Help the fam. Helping yourself is going to help the collective. And we'll all be back and ready to go Wednesday, right? If you voted, we've done our job. Continue to encourage. Continue to help if you can. If you cannot, have a seat, sis. Have a seat, brother. Feet up. It's all right. We need the moment. Buffy the Vampire Slayer all day long. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Please share the video. We need to spread the word. Please give each other love. You know, text your friends, text people you haven't talked to, and just text the emoji, love emoji right now. Just text it to everyone, right? You know, and just say no response necessary so you don't have to get flooded, you know. Just text people. I'm encouraging, let's do mass texting. You know, let's do maybe one day, 1 hour today we can put something on our Facebook that's positive. I'm going to try. Today is el Dia de los Muertos. Remember who we're here for. Remember our family members who are not here, right? Remember the people who have fought for us to be here. We're all right. That doesn't mean we have to fight to the death. It means we have to remember with integrity and compassion and love for them, for yourself, ultimately for each other. All right, y'all. Black girl from Eugene. See you next week.